Something that like I really realized today is that you don't have to visualize constantly and consistently to manifest something. It's not even about visualization or honestly even embodiment. It's about really assuming that you are the version of you who you think of in your head. Like, so the assumptions that you might have about yourself right now are creating your current reality because it's that underlying belief, right? And the belief is, again, what you learned, or like a lot of the beliefs that you might have right now are what you learned from ages 0 to 7, basically since birth, pretty much, I guess. Not even just the 0 to 7, but a lot of the beliefs that you have are most likely formed from birth, right? And with law of assumption and everything, which is like my favorite thing in life right now, because it's just like making so much sense while I'm manifesting my dream life and assuming that my dream life already exists. It's just like when you learn how to really spot the assumptions that you have for your life right now and what you're telling yourself about, it's basically like catching yourself writing about your current story and flipping it to be the version or be the story that you want to be telling yourself based on the story you want to be living, right? So it's like catching yourself in the act when you are like, oh my gosh, like, why is this not happening yet? Or like, I'm feeling super sad today, or like, or not even stuff like that, but just like you're assuming like, oh my gosh, I always get so anxious about this thing, or I always am so sad. Why am I like this? What's wrong with me? And you can totally flip that to like, when you notice yourself saying stuff like that, pause and really think about your position as having narrative control of your life as the author. And you can really change things up by being like, why am I always so confident? Oh my gosh, this is awesome. Like, or why do opportunities always flow to me? I feel so lucky because I am. Or like, why am I always in a good mood? I love this new baseline. I love this baseline that I have. Or even just like, you know, things like, why is everything always working out for me? Like, it's almost like aggressive optimism in a way when you flip it like that, because it's like really turning like the nail on the head here, and like you're really seeing things from a different perspective that is life changing, basically. Because when you start doing that on a consistent basis, you start assuming, you're like, oh my gosh, why am I so confident? I love this. Why am I so magnetic? Like, this is awesome. It feels great to like be seen and feel safe to be seen and things like that. And like, oh my gosh, things are always working out for me. Why are they always working out for me? Oh, because I'm so lucky, huh? When you like think from that baseline, it repeats in your head. You're repeating it in your head over and over again. And it is creating new neural pathways to literally create itself around the new you, the new self-concept, the new identity, which is in turn going to create different results in your life. It's going to, like, the 3D has no choice but to reflect what you are consistently repeating in your head, what you already are assuming, what you are believing. Because your current life is a reflection of all of the beliefs that you have picked up since birth, essentially. Take a second to like really let that sink in, because for me that was like a life-changing moment where I realized, and like one thing that I assume a lot or like think about a lot is, oh my gosh, like why am I like, everyone says I'm confident, but like I don't feel confident. So like, why do I not feel confident? And then I just flipped it and I'm like, you know what? I am confident. Like there's no reason to be anxious, like being myself around other people, because it's just, that's my reality. Like everyone in my reality is my matrix, and like I'm assuming things about how they feel about me, and I can change that just by thinking it in my head. Like this is how you manifest soul partners and dream jobs and your dream life. It's just assuming like, oh my gosh, they think I'm pretty. They think I'm the best person in the world. They can't stop thinking about me, like for your soul partner, right? So it's literally that simple with even like dream jobs, right? And I'm currently in a position where I'm switching to one of my dream jobs. I mean, my ultimate dream job is to be, you know, making a 6-figure income on social media. I would love that. And not even just for like the whole money aspect, just to have that creative reign and control over my life. Like, I love being creative. I've been an artist my whole life, and I would love to be able to have that reach and impact to people, as I'm sure a lot of people aspire as well to be social media influencers and have that impact and everything. But it's like I'm currently in a position where I'm finishing out the last days at like my 9 to 5, right? And it's so funny because I recently heard that my boss right now literally said that I was his favorite assistant that he's ever had. And like, because I was a design assistant for a long time, and like, or basically it's like being an executive assistant but for like a design company, and it was a small business, and my boss has gone through many different assistants, right? And I literally manifested being the best worker there. And I was also the youngest person he ever hired. I was like 19 when I first got hired, and that was like right out of, you know, high school. I took a little bit of a break and everything, and like, I did not expect that at all, because there are so many other qualified people. I didn't go to college, I didn't do any of that, and like was the best worker. And like, that's super cool that I figured that out, because it just like validated all of my assumptions that I had. Like, I had been assuming over the years, like, oh, I'm gonna like go above and beyond and like be the best assistant, whatever, and this all is gonna come effortlessly to me. And I learned everything so quickly. I even trained in someone new my second week working there, and it's like, this just all, I'm saying all of this to show you that whatever you assume to be true in your reality, whether you assume this is easy to go through or this is hard to go through, why is this so hard? I'm telling you all of this, and I told you my story about my job situation because you are the creator of your reality. You are creating whether it is hard or whether it is easy. You are creating which assumptions to pay attention to believe, to really feel on a cellular level that becomes your new truth. You are creating everything in your life. Like, your whole 3D reality is just a reflection of your internal state. It's literally a reflection of those belief systems that you've had from birth, right? And if they aren't what you want to be and you're not living the life you want to be, it's so easy to change. It's so simple. And it's like, sometimes it does feel a little difficult. I won't lie. Like, right now, I remember like I used to feel so stuck in life, and I'm like, why is this not working? Why am I not manifesting? And it's not even just about feeling stuck. And I figured that whole thing out, and I talked about it in another video. But basically, like, my new challenge or my new level is like really reminding myself of my new identity consistently for it to create those new neural pathways around my new identity. And I've only been doing this hardcore for like the last week now. So I want to like slowly close the gap between my desired reality and my 3D reality. And I talked about like the 3D, the difference between the 3D and the 4D, and why you should be living in the 4D and not taking validation from the 3D in another video. And just because like, it just makes so much sense. Like, creation is finished. Like, everything you can think of exists in the 4D. And because that is a very real dimension, right? And when you can think of something, it's already done. There's already a timeline version of you that it's done for. So like, when you think of things like looking to the 3D for validation, it just doesn't really make sense, because it's like going to the past for current events, right? I had another video all about this that I totally deep dove into over the span of 30 minutes and really went in depth on that. But yeah, so basically, like, with the law of assumption and creating your dream reality, creation is finished. And I was really thinking about this today. Like, if you constantly think like, oh my gosh, what if this doesn't work out? What if this doesn't, like, I have a lot of doubt. What if you have a lot of doubt? Or like, I have a lot of doubt as an example, but like, what if you have a lot of doubt and you think like, oh, what if this doesn't work out? What if this isn't going to be the right path for me? What if this happens? Blah, blah, blah. What if you flip it into, what if this is the point in time where this is already unfolding for me in my favor, and I'm just stepping into the moment where it all happens for me, and I realize that it's all happening and it's all unfolding. Like, what if you're stepping into the part in your story where it all unfolds exactly how you want it to? without that doubt. Like, you don't even need that doubt. Like, just like shifting your perspective on things like that, I feel like makes a world of a difference. And it's normal for it to feel difficult when you're in that in-between state, when you are thinking about like the desired reality that you want, and when you're really working on those new assumptions and creating a new identity, because you're building the muscle. So sorry about my cat in the background, and that's Iroh, yeah, again. So, and then my other cat that's meowing is Kyoto. He gets kind of annoying sometimes. But yeah, so it's just like, think about it. Like, what if it all worked out for you? And it really is just building those reps. Like, professional athletes don't get where they're at by not practicing anything, right? They put in so many reps and they work really hard, and it doesn't feel hard to them. And it might feel hard to them, but it doesn't have to feel hard. This can be like a fun process. This can be like a process where you're constantly looking back and seeing how far you've come and like feeling grateful for it, right? So just remember, like, you're becoming a professional athlete in your dream reality, in your assumed identity, in your assumed state. And it does get easier over time as it becomes your new normal. And it does start to feel more natural, and you'll start to have less and less doubts the more you practice it, because you're constantly shutting off those doubts when you continue to choose the new reality. So get those reps in, keep going, persist.